Why does the meatball have underwear? Sunday night, we got some viewer games to look at. We've got viewer games from a new patch to look at. Steven rocking the hydrates early. What's good? What's good, Chad? How you doing out there? We're going to get right into it. I did have the list up, and then I accidentally closed it. We do have a whole bunch of new games. The very first one, we'll have to see if the patch broke it, because I think it was from pre-patch. So I anticipate this one's going to be messed up, and, you know, the deal at this point. But before we get into everything, I do have to let everybody know that I am part of the content affiliate program. That means that the Phobies team does, in fact, give me coffee for producing Phobies content, such as these viewer games, which, by the way, if you want to submit viewer games, hit up the Random Thoughts Discord. The link for that is in the description. That's also where you can sign up for Monster of the Week, our weekly tournament series, where you can get coffee just for playing. Hit that up. Check it out. Have some fun. This game is broken. It's actually broken, which is interesting. We haven't seen one of these in a while because the way the new iteration of the patch rollout works, it actually, you know, it tries to adjust, but because there were so many changes, that game broken. So we're going to try and find another one. I had a good game that got destroyed by the update. It was Hoovy on the opponent Heart Rush. I wish I had submitted, but forgot. Yeah, I anticipate there's going to be a few of these. This one would have been the return of Pineapple, but not so much, unfortunately. So we'll move on to the next one. This one may have also broken. Doesn't look like they saved it on their profile either. Maybe. Hold, please. Hold, please. Hold, please. Yeah, this one's broken also. So, put that one with the wrong indicator. There we go. Those are broken. Well, we're off to a great start, chat. We're off to a great start. And by great start, I mean not a great start. It's actually a terrible start. We got a game, chat. All right, we are here on Mysomania. We got Gundam as our hero, rocking a very adorable avatar. I gotta admit, like, the Slammerhead avatar is kind of adorable. Fighting against an aggressive opponent that tried to go for a Heart Rush. All right, let's see. You got Flail and Hexy from your Dreadful at exactly 2k beans for. Nice. How do you like them so far? I mean, in both cases, they're gonna... There's a bunch of numbers, Phobies, right? You know the story, where you gotta level them up. That's always true, but there's some Phobies that could hypothetically compete, like Undertaker. We did talk about it with Karst, where it doesn't seem like Undertaker's realistically going to participate that much at, like, if you get it tomorrow. But there's at least the potential, whereas a lot of these other Phobies are just, okay, the numbers just clearly aren't good enough. But speaking of numbers that are good enough, we've got a Hevo and Repeller opener out of our hero here. This is rather unique. You usually see what bad guy's doing. You see some early Gravediggers. I'm surprised neither player broke the obstacle that's, like, right next to, you know, like in the direct line to that middle panic point. The whole point is you do that so that you can sprint one keys there. Now they have to loop around and can't do it in a single move action. So we'll see how this goes, especially now that the one key has died, meaning that Ted can go reclaim the panic point for freezies, sort of. We'll see how this goes. I haven't used him. I like Hexy just based on the design. I think Hexy looks really cool. I'm anxious to see more of the in-game animations. Everybody said they were very good. I had some difficulty finding games to get them into my collection. So we'll see what happens. Ted going in, not uncontested any longer. That's an exposed Ginsting for reasons? Like, why did this happen? It's not going to die, but, like, given that the boop from Repeller is already down, like, this is a reasonable aggressive line from bad guy. They probably lose the Gravedigger and possibly also the Cat. There are 5 keys available. You have a bunch of things in range. But it's also possible our blue player just has to straight up retreat. We'll see here. Alright, so we get the juiced bees. Stabby to supplement the team. Gravedigger, in fact, does not go down. Would it have been better to put a jar on the board to take down that Gravedigger and then get a 2-key instead of the Stabby, or like another 1-key? I would have probably taken the kill, just to remove another piece from the board. Bad guy is now maxed out. That seems like not a great plan, bad guy. Admittedly, still 16 keys. Our hero flips the panic points once again. Ted will probably eat it this time. I have to imagine our hero is going to add a 1-key. Alright, it's Muffin. Interesting. We could rotate the Gin Sting to one of the spas. The bad guy does seem to be gearing up for a heart push up here in the north. I think upgrade cards past max when you have enough or more than enough should remove it from the pull and have the extras turn into wild cards. I gotta be honest, how many people does that even affect? Is it like literally only Hoploy? I don't disagree, but it's one of those scenarios that's just kind of like, who cares? It sounds weird because, like, it is a bad thing. Like, it's ridiculous that it is possible for you to get dupes of things you have when you can't, you can no longer upgrade them. But how many people does that actually impact? I don't understand why that was ever possible, but also, what is our hero doing here? Like, obviously the Gin Sting was going to die. Does the Boom has to die too, right? Well, maybe they go out, maybe they kill Stabby here instead. They get the Stabby kill with the Ted. Yikes! I'm not gonna lie, it kind of looks like our hero's getting bodied here. You will get a big Boom hit. Maybe the Ted finally dies here. I don't hate the Honey Bear play to try and, Ooh, I like that. I like that. I'll take it. It's a good retaliation effort here. I mean, there's not enough damage any longer in the north, and our hero's kind of stabilized at this point, if not arguably taking control. The Phobies that bad guy had on the board were not great. Like, I think they absolutely would have been better off with a different team. Not even, I mean, different is better here, but that's a big hit on that Klepto, but that's not lethal. Fetch? All right, what is... I don't know. Credit where credit is due. Bad guy was doing very well, and then just like the last 2 turns, they just gave the game away. Who's killing that Daisy? Is it going to be a droney? Yeah, it's a droney. The bane of resurrect phobies everywhere. Amazon packages, apparently. Honey Bear doesn't really care about a little heat. As a tardigrade, would not care, generally speaking. I don't know if tardigrades can exist in lava. Probably not, right? I know they can exist in the vacuum of space, or I'm pretty sure they can. Maybe I'm exaggerating their survivability, but I kind of remember reading that. Boop. Blanky goes back. 0 keys to 0 keys. I really feel like our heroes got the better team here for the most part. I mean, there's definitely value on bad guy's team, but they're going to be giving up the Spider, which is a big portion of said value. Oh no, is the fetch dead? Dude, you can't be doing this. Well, I guess that means the spider lives then, because you probably needed that damage in order to ensure the spider kill. Never mind, the repeller had another hit. Yikes, bad guy. One could go so far as to say that there were some mistakes made. They're looking like me in the tournament yesterday. Chad, I got cooked so bad. I played badly. And I think this is a... I was debating doing a video, but I can't... Like, I know what the script would be, but I don't have a set of graphics to go with it. You know what I mean? Like, it would be really... I don't have any images to put on screen, and nobody wants to just stare at me talking the whole time. But I was going to do a video about, like, recognizing and accepting when you mess up. Because in order to improve, you have to acknowledge that you're not doing everything right. And that's basically what it boiled down to yesterday. I made 2 mistakes that cost me 2 critical games and ruined my tournament. So the good news is I can fix that. I can't fix if I picked the wrong deck. I can't fix if I played against a bad matchup. I can't fix if the meta is terrible or something like that. But I can fix my play. And that's applicable to Phobies, too, especially when we're talking about different tournaments and strategies and counters and things like that, that you need to recognize where mistakes were, and I hope Bad Guy recognizes their mistakes in this one, because... Yikes. GG, Gundam. Well played. I have like 4.3 million XP. The only reason I have so much is because I have nothing to upgrade until something can. Do you have stuff that's maxed out, Steven? If you do, I didn't realize you were whaling that much. All right, we'll blow up the next game. Yeah, we did talk about it actually on the... God damn it. We talked about it briefly on the Face Your Fears podcast, which is going live tomorrow. By the time this hits YouTube, it will have been live for several days. And I knew, but I constantly forget that that's a thing about the upgrade cards. But like I said, it's just kind of one of those... How many people does this actually affect? I don't even know how many people it's going to affect a year from now, to be honest. And that's a problem in and of itself. But we'll put that aside for the moment. We have a new map. We've got Tombstone. PvZ is our hero here, Chuck the Undying, killing 18 keys worth of Phobies while having cancer. I think we saw some screenshots for this. I didn't realize it was post-patch, so highest level's 19. Fair. Yeah, I saw some screenshots for this, and I didn't realize it was post-patch, so I thought this game was going to break. Or be broken, I guess. So Karst made a very compelling argument for this map, and when I first saw it, I was very concerned about this map, and I said as much on the podcast that the way the hearts are positioned really worried me. Because they're so seemingly safe. It's very like there's no way your opponent can't interact with you if you try and heart push. So it removes one of the ways to win, and therefore these sort of maps tend to devolve into stalemates as a result. That doesn't seem to be the case based on Karst's early experience, which is interesting. So we'll see how this one plays out. One point that Karst did bring up is that it is very difficult to set up a 3-ranger such as Innocuous on this map. I think it just kind of needs a terraformer, because if you wanted to move the Innocuous up, it would have to probably be in front of the conveyor, which means that it's exposed to something on the stem. Like something, a cassowary could walk up and leap off the stem, for example. However, I think if you break one of the obstacles by the Abyss tiles, you could park it there, and then, okay, Jar or other 3 Ranger is required. So, we'll see. This map seems more like a Phobies Brawl map, since of how safe the heart is. It could be, but even on those maps, like Billy's Room, for example, relatively safe heart. It has a Colosseum-esque shape where it tries to corral you in and fight. And maps like that kind of devolve into, I build my super team, I build the Justice League, and then I go punch people in the neck. I mean, is that going to be how this plays out? I don't know. Droney, once again, the bane of Resurrect Phobies. You know, there's memes for Helldivers 2, where they have the bugs, like, typing an email. And it's funny, because it's, like, the model of the bug, and it's just poking at a keyboard, writing an email about how certain weapons are overpowered and they should get nerfed, and it's kind of funny. And I can only imagine Daisy, Ted, terrorRaptor... Well, I guess they would have, like, terrorRaptor and Daisy would probably have to talk to Ted because he's the only one with fingers. terrorRaptor doesn't have any appendages, right? Daisy at least has claws, so hypothetically could type. The point being is I just imagine them writing a letter to Smoking Gun pleading for a Droney nerf because they're sick of dying to Droney. And all right, so we do get the foul connecting here, and so now we got poison and disease on this Chuck. He's having a very, very bad day. However, it looks like he's gonna go nuts, clobbering this foul almost to full health. This is looking like all of those Big She Mildred games. I couldn't think of the phobia for a second. Fetch for some reason out of our hero because reasons. That's a 5-0 panic point advantage. I got distracted. Wasn't really doing proper commentating on this, but that's a 5-0 panic point advantage. Our hero flipping it into their favor, obviously risking some things here. The sheep can connect. The klepto can get a stimmed hit, meaning that this jar is going to die. What? I mean, I get it. I get it. Bad guy thinking they can close the door right now on our hero. Glob? So this is one thing that I'll point out that I think we said on the podcast, that I like that you can walk these 1 keys up. I think Karst brought it up, and then immediately get pushed by the conveyor tile, meaning that they are more readily available for the fight. Chuck leeching a little bit of life. That sheep goes down. Poison on multiple undeads, but it doesn't seem like it matters right now. Due to it just being a 1 panic point differential, that's a conductor. Really? You know, I don't hate it here. This might be more of a conductor game than because, like, look at this Chuck. A lot of damage, and the disease doesn't go away. Doesn't go away. So is conductor live? It's live pretty quick. Undertaker's the coolest one from the update. I don't think the name is great. I do agree with that. Alright, conductor active. Hold on, does it show? So plus 30%. Glob can take down, well, either of these now. do have fetch to try and do stuff. Cannot go after... Well, you could pull the fetch. You could also pull the conductor. The bad guy's now down to literally 3 phobies. Chuck, hanging on for dear life with 29 health. Also safe right now because bad guy can't reach. They could have displaced with the attractor and then allowed for the klepto to connect. Down goes Glob. Doesn't even kill the conductor. Yikes. Wow, that is a conductor kill. Dude, this game was wild. 5-0 panic point advantage. I really think bad guy threw on that turn where they could have taken the jar kill, probably gotten the, like, could they have gotten a fetch kill? Maybe. Like, why did they kill the Maggie? Like I said, I think they saw a window where they could try and close the game quickly, but they clearly could not. Very well played, PvZ. Very well played. GG. GG. All right, let's go on to the next game. Switch back again. All right, so we got the next game. Pull up the next game. Another post-update game. Is it on a new map is really the question. It is, in fact, on a new map, and it's one of the bad ones based on the conversation I had with Cars the other night. You check that out on the podcast. Cars told me to submit this match. Some kind of smiley face thing. Also, have you ever experienced water getting on your phone and it starts clicking and going through everything? Well, that's what happened to me on turn 7 and 7 alone. Wait, what? Holy shit, there's so much. Just submitted it instantly. Didn't even get to move, except the strange part is there wasn't any water that got on my phone. Weird. I don't know what you're implying there. I don't know what you're implying. Shinra. I'm not sure. Just submitted my games. They're probably not getting to it tonight. Probably not, but there were a couple broken ones, so we'll see. Yeah, as I mentioned on the podcast, this just seems like it's a Gravedigger map. And I am of the opinion, like, I disagree with Karst on this. I understand his line of thinking, and I get it. And I can accept that as, because this is more of an opinion thing. It's not like this is factually better or worse. I don't care if the opener is, like, this is what you're supposed to do. Because there will always then be a hypothetical, this is the counter, and then we end up with the counter to the counter, and you end up with a rotating meta. Even if there is, this is the de facto best thing, it still comes down to execution of said plan. But I do think we've hit the upper threshold for Gravedigger maps. Do we really need another like, look, if you think Gravedigger maps are the best thing, fine. But you cannot say that we don't have a plethora of Gravedigger required maps. So, do we really need another one? I don't think we do. I don't think we do. Also, I'm playing with my hamburger transformer. Anybody remember these? When I went to one of the toy shows, they had the other ones. And I kind of wish I bought some of them, but I didn't really feel like it. If I see them again, and they're cheap, like a couple bucks, I will. I don't play this game, so I have no strong opinion on maps. A map is just what it is. Every map is optimal play. Gravedigger being the obvious optimal play isn't good or bad, it just is. Well, so Karst's argument is, because it is so obvious, it immediately shrinks the learning phase, which is the most fun for many people, where it's like, I'm trying out things, I'm trying to figure out what the optimal thing is. And then the discovery phase, because that is truncated or even removed, it then leads to stagnation. And I think that's a valid argument. I think it's a reasonable, logical discussion to have. I just don't know that I care, because I kind of look at it as like on a long enough timeline it'll always get solved, or the game is so complex and involves so many things and the execution thereof that it doesn't matter that it gets solved, because some people just will not be able to do it. They will screw it up anyway and lose. So I think we missed the turn where Shinra just blanked and entered something. So we got Puff versus Attractor here. I also don't know why Karst wanted Shinra to submit this game. Maybe we'll find out. Oh, yikes. Yikes! Oh my god, this Attractor pull is... Also, what is this boom doing up here? So we're gonna get the freeze on there. How are you dealing with the Puff, though? Do you just not care? Okay, hold on. So Twitch actually says that the person who just posted, who's quite obviously a bot, you're getting banned. Possible ban evader monitoring. I don't know how I report it, but you're 100% getting banned. Okay, both players open Gravedigger. That's 1/12 of the game according to the turn counter down there. Is solving 1/12 of the game really that unhealthy? I think the implication is that it's more than that because of what the Gravedigger opener implies, generally speaking. So here's one thing I'll point out. Even though Puff was able to get this Blom and obviously thaw the stabby thanks to the snowball inclusion, it was not enough to take down Bowmangles or the Attractor, meaning that they are still going to be, like, they're going to get cooked here, but they're going to continue to be able to pressure bad guys' stuff. We are going with a retreat here, though. Only a takedown. Oh, okay, we get it with the fire. I was about to say, if that stabby lives, you're in bad shape. I think bad guy's just feeling desperate here, and to be honest, I don't know what their alternative is. So our hero has to kill Puff this turn. They just have no choice. What happened the one time somebody calls me and something happens in chat? Oh, there was just, you know, one of those drive-by bots that's spamming a link. Pop goes the Puff. Is the muffin necessary? I don't know that the muffin's necessary. I mean, it kind of locks up the game, and I guess it's the nail in the coffin. But, like, the Steves alone probably ends the game. It's a triple panic point advantage. I guess the main thing is because Gravedigger opened the bottom center at the game started, it does basically center the game around the bottom center, sort of, but a lot of maps have that happening without Gravedigger. I agree where a lot of the time action gets naturally focused. Yeah, I gotta be honest, I'm not sure what Karst wanted to see showcased here, other than, hey, this is the Gravedigger map. I think there was a great sequence of plays from Shinra in order to take this game. But Karst will have to comment in the video and let me know what we were supposed to be looking for there. Admittedly, I was responding to some of the conversation in chat and dealing with the bots, so maybe I missed something. But, like, I think it was well played by Shinra there. I am a little surprised by the ability to, or inability of bad guy to counter the freeze effectively. There is an argument that, like, thawing your guy on a small map like that may not be worth it, because think about it, there were two attacks essentially that oh, you got the stabby back, so maybe you didn't really lose attacks, but, like, you lost a Puff attack, you lost the snowball fireball. Is that worth it for two stabby attacks? I don't know. Apparently not. Apparently not. All right, what do we got next? We got more Phobies games next, chat. Chat, I spent a lot of time today playing some Space Marine. I still haven't beaten the campaign. I think I'm going to do it offline because streaming has just been nightmarish. It's just like, I don't know why the encoding doesn't want to cooperate. And as a result, it's like, I don't know if it's a great viewing experience. I'm not getting a whole lot of feedback, so we'll see. But Space Marine aside, we're going to look at a kingBastos game. Take this game as a reminder of what the events do to the player base. What was the event for this one? Dimensionals? Not sure. Thawing also puts his phobies in a cluster, which wasn't great, actually. Yeah, it opened them up to a lot of things. I guess it was undead. You know, as people did comment for the undead update, which is the Halloween update, and undead are the least populous phobie type in the game. There are less undeads than any other phobie type. I don't know by how much offhand, because we just got the update and I didn't recount or anything, but there are less undeads than other phobies, and typically around the Halloween update, we get a big infusion of undeads, and we did not. It's a lot more even, and I do like that it is more even. While I get the theming, I just didn't like the idea of, oh, well, we get no undeads in the other two updates, but we get a big chunk of them around Halloween. I guess it's fine. Like, it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. I would like it to be closer to even. And confirm, terrorRaptor does not have any appendages unless you count its tail. Do you think terrorRaptor can type with its tail? That'd be weird. That'd be real weird. So here on Chapeltown, yeah, bad guys going for that all undead all the time game plan. Is this terrorRaptor dead? Nope, it's not going to die. I was thinking maybe Hevo plus 2 hits from Cassowary or something like that. Did we even get an undead in this update? Maybe not. Because Undertaker's dimensional. Flail is dimensional. Confirmed no by chat. Yeah, I don't think so. Sulky's mech. Billy is presumably monster. Bad guy jumping out to an early panic point lead. If this cassowary doesn't die... Dude, why is there a jackalope? You can't... If you're doing the event, you are allowed to use other phobies. It's not like it doesn't count if you sprinkle in something else. Tooth is a monster, Butcher is a mech. Yeah. We literally got no undead in this update. Huh. We didn't talk about that on the podcast, but that is... So it matters... because of the way the events are structured. Like, if you're looking for a concrete reason why it matters, because realistically, for gameplay-wise, unless you just want to be mono-undead for funsies, who cares? I mean, I care because, like, I like the undead characters, but it doesn't really matter. But it does matter, especially when you're talking, like, newer or new-ish players, and we did touch on this a little bit, because apparently there is no dimensional starter phobie that's guaranteed. So... that's a Jackalope King. That's another Jackalope. Bad guys trying to do their best Mechode impression. Yeah, and 4 of them are ultra rares that I'll never get. Are there really 4 ultra rares? We didn't talk about that either. I mean, one of them is the, like, Billy's the exclusive offer one, so. I also prefer playing event phobies towards the event. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at, is that the problem is, if you don't have a big collection already, and now it's less likely for you to get the things you need, I don't know, it's just... Is it that much less likely? No. But there's lots of issues. There's lots of non-game related systems in Phobies that negatively impact the game, which sucks. Which is funny, because I was just talking about earlier today the same problem in Star Wars Unlimited. The game is spectacular. It's one of the best card games I've ever played. And the ancillary systems, everything else associated with it, are just catastrophically bad. Like, comically bad. This is yet another Droney! Droney taking the life of every Resurrect Phobie all day, every day. By the way, what do those jackalopes do? I'm going to go with nothing. I'll be honest, I didn't look that closely. But as you'd expect, the player who did not handicap themselves by going mono undeads is in an advantageous position. Who could have possibly seen this coming? Tooth, Billy, Undertaker, and Butcher are all ultra rares. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that's not very healthy. Phobies using invisibility, you don't say. Tentacles. I don't really get the Charon. I mean, I get it in general on this map, but was the Charon really necessary? I guess it allows, Creepy Devil. Strong to blank. Allows Creepy Devil to sneak up here. Is that a dead flesh crawler? Looks like it probably will be. Tooth really could have been a rare, considering a tractor is rare. I do think that this was a factor of power level, which rarity should not correlate to power level. But it does. It shouldn't, but it does. And I think that's probably what it is. Aside from all of the monetary arguments. By the way, our hero here, actually powering off their own panic points, dropping a matching foul up by a gazillion phobies, because bad guys was just hemorrhaging things left and right. I mean, they sunk 7 keys into jackalopes, which is like, alright, well, I'll just start the game at -7 keys, because why not? Disease on a creepy devil, also, because why not? This is just kind of an ass whooping. I don't know how else to put it. Hey, another person to ban. Twitch goes through this, like, it's cyclical. 2 or 3 times a year, there will be waves and waves and waves of bots. And it's just annoying to deal with. So I guess because for a while it stopped, and Twitch had implemented a bunch of controls to try and... Why did it not delete the message? Wait, not publish the chat. Wait, why did it do that? It deleted the other message. That's weird. So I banned that bot and it didn't delete the message. Hopefully nobody clicks on that. But yeah, they implemented a bunch of controls a while back, and I guess the bots have figured out how to evade them for now. I mean, it says likely ban evader, but like, okay, then don't fucking let them talk. What are you doing? Killing me here, Twitch. All right, we got somebody new to Viewer Games, or I certainly don't remember this name, and I feel as though I would. Oh, this one's going to be great. Chat, I can't wait for this one. All right, I'm excited about this one. On detention, terrorRaptor, new to game reviews, stress level 9. Got bad side manners into a match, and man, he did a lot of work. All right, well, welcome, Terror. I don't see the message from the second bot. Good. Good, because you shouldn't. These are the games that I love seeing. Like, don't get me wrong. I love commentating high-level phobies. I love watching high-level phobies. It's fun. I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't fun. But watching low-level games like this is just hysterical. Like, when was the last time you saw Jar pass as your opener. And then the answer is primate number 9, pass. Like, what? When was the last time you saw that? This is awesome. All right. Our hero banking up to 5. There's the bad side. Bad side coming out to play. Notably, terror, for this map, it is not uncommon to get turrets online earlier or try and get more 1 keys. Probably don't want to open jar. Turrets being, you know, your stabby, your bow mangle, something like that. Because it does, like bad side, allow you to control space early on. Obviously, lobbers are still valuable, as you're demonstrating here. But getting those turrets online faster means you can control the space faster and therefore impact your opponent's plays. Our hero maxing out here relatively early on. Doesn't really matter. It's a bunch of 1 keys. They'll die off. Especially in this sort of game where even if it doesn't, like, if the correct play is to not kill off the 1 keys or whatever, your opponent will end up doing it anyway because it's a low-level game. Get a little radiator action coming in. Bad side, chipping it down. Where's the positioning going to be, though? All right. Presumably, you're going to walk the Jill up. Yep. Which means the radiator can go in, but I don't think there's enough damage here to kill bad side. Because you don't... we'll see what bad guy does. Nope. I guess, like, hypothetically, you get 2 hits from the radiator, you're going to get a hit from the primate, and then you also could get a daisy hit. You hypothetically could have enough damage to get bad side, but probably not. Instead, they dive in order to get the jar. I get it, but now your bad side probably dies for freezies. Boo Fairy! Not what I was expecting, but you love to see it. So that was technically an even key trade, but the bad side is just gonna... There's no removing it at this point. Bad guy needs to put in significant effort to remove it, and they are just giving keys away here. Oh my god, but these jackalopes stop. I think bad guy... Have they played an undead every time? Game. Come on. No, a radiator, duh, we were just talking about it. But a number of undeads probably playing into the event. Quick pick here with the old meatball. Why is there underwear on meatball? I still don't understand. Did we ever find out if, like, this is a reference to something? Why does the meatball have underwear? Get a little erratic action. I mean, bad guy's cooked at this point, right? Notably, not a droney this time, killing the undead. The Murder Wing will probably pay with its life, but this is a 4-0 panic point advantage, and I was about to say I'm sensing a heebie-jeebies special coming. You wouldn't want a naked meatball, would you? Have you ever had a meatball sub? I don't think I want underwear on my meatball sub. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like, I like meatball subs. They are very delicious. I don't think I want underwear on it. I'm pretty sure. Get a power down here on the erratic. That's basically going to lock bad guy out of the game. I guess there's hypothetically a world where they can try and reclaim some of these panic points, but it's not going to matter. Jill slapping the crap out of the heart. Yeah, this bad side did put in a lot of work. Bad guy did not put in the effort to try and take it down. Tell me this boot fairy doesn't even die. Lol. Why isn't it popping up the damage numbers? Is it doing literally 0 damage? It still pops up 0, doesn't it? It is 0 damage. I thought it still popped up and said 0. Now that's going to bother me. Oh, Erratic having a bad day. Early retirement for Erratic there. GG. Very well played there, Raptor. Well done. Yeah, those games are funny to watch because, like, the openers and the strategies and the lines are all just so wild. It's fun. All right, let's see what we got next. Oh, we got another low-level game, Chad. Another low-stress level game. This time, Counties is our hero. Not gonna lie, Slammerhead really helped me win in this one. Love to see some good Slammerhead games. Although, on this map, not sure. You forgot you got Akira today? Well, congrats. Akira is kind of a big deal. You may have noticed that before. So bad guy... Alright. I'm not sure why they wouldn't meatball here, but sure. I do wonder why people still attack with phobies that have been turned off and deal 0 damage. I don't know if you get XP just for taking the action, you know what I mean? This is a good heads-up play here. Get the boop into the meatball. That's a free pick there. Now, will the Slammerhead die? I guess it's possible. Bad guy's not going to go for it, it would appear. I feel like you... Maybe they tried it and they didn't have the numbers, but you could, like, leap into attack, into... They had 5 keys? No, they had 4 keys, because that was the only thing they did. So it would have to be jar. Maybe they just didn't have the damage. But yeah, people probably are just attacking, because it's like, well, what else am I going to do? Haha, I deal 0 damage. Clinico to support the Slammerhead. Stranger Things. That's a dead cassowary, isn't it? Pop goes the cassowary. I mean, the Murder Wing's exposed, but it's already gotten 2 kills now, so it's technically at +2. Kill the Murder Wing, kill the cassowary. And bad guy had to sink so much effort into damaging the Slammerhead, which is now pulled back and safe with a 3-to-1 panic point advantage on Pluto. And our hero currently has stim control. We'll see if that is maintained as we bring the stabby in. Unbearable getting into range. Triple 1-mover at a bad guy. I don't love that. I don't like that. Especially because it's Gesundheit. Like, the bow and the Unbearable are kind of acceptable because they can just tank some stuff and then take over. The Gesundheit, as soon as it's exposed, it's going to die. And Stabby is now in position to cover all of the panic points you need to defend. Unbearable is the only thing that's in range. Not quite enough damage here, I don't believe, to kill. Mostly because the bow now has occupied the stem. You can displace with the Slammerhead, of course. But there isn't a ton of damage being represented by our hero here. So who are they going to target down? Probably bow, right? Boop it onto the lava. Yep. Huh. Okay, this makes sense. Get the takedown there. That's a big damage prevention, essentially, by eliminating the Gesundheit. Is this enough damage? No, there's no way. But there is a lot of HP. You can get the Clinico, but you're probably not grinding through these other 3 phobies. You just don't have the damage output, most likely. Down goes Clinico. Reclaiming the stim with the bow. I think Gravedigger was the softer target, but then again, you might... Do you have enough? Slammerhead down. But our hero is going to get to retaliate here. 6 keys remaining to 6. Baby Snaky. I don't know about that one. Don't know about that one. Erratic, the final phobie, at a bad guy once again. Our hero is eating a lot of stimmed hits. But now that bad guy has advanced into our hero... Oh, no. Do you have enough damage to kill these two? If you can kill the... I mean, they are right up on that Baby Snakey, and while Baby Snakey sucks, it does have some pretty high damage output. Down goes Jin Sting. Do you have enough to take this? I don't think you do. A little hydrate action. Oh, that's enough to one-shot it. Wow. Still, the Unbearable's gonna die. I think I would have liked to have seen... Well, this is fine, because now you occupy the stim, and the Erratic likely cannot do enough damage to clear any of these this turn. And then that means that there's just too much. Yep. Enemy surrendered. GG. Well played. I don't know. I mean, Slammerhead definitely mattered. There were some relevant boops. I think there were other components of that game that played in equally, if not more, but GG. Oh man, we got in a lot of low-level games. This is actually great. All right, we got another quick one. Another new submitter. This is Horror Showis. Horror Show Ones. Like, is this... what is it with the jar openers in this? The German Brothers indeed wind me the game. I don't know if you're memeing. Or if... I don't know. That jar is still dead. Does jar automatically die to sheep? I mean, this jar does. Admittedly, the sheep will have to expose itself to the... Well, never mind. You body block with the Contortio. That's out the window. So is our hero's name, like... If you played sports... I know for football this is a very common thing. I don't know if it's true for other sports. When I say football, of course, I mean American football. Gridiron football. The only real one. Oh, yikes. Snipe the cassowary. Get wrecked, nerd. The body block even with the canine? Well played. Yeah, there's a very common description in gridiron football that, you know, the first team, like your starters on offense or defense, are the number ones. And then their backups are the number twos and so on. So... is our hero's name like Horror Show Ones? Like they are the first string horror shows? I'm not really clear here. I'm very curious. Bad guy just doesn't want to use the sheep for anything, which I kind of get because the sheep has not really been in a position to connect with anything, but I'm pretty sure it's just dead now. All right, we're going after the Inoculus. That's a valid target as well. And by valid target, I mean the better target, but it's fine. Jar has to be a couple levels to survive a sheep hit, since I think sheep deals 500 level 1. Yeah, I think that's right. I just couldn't remember what sheep does at level 1, because, like, it's not a thing that generally matters. Sheep does get a fairly decent connection here, mostly because of the damage output, less so about who it hits. I forget what stress level, but I want to say, like, our hero was, like, stress level 15 or something, and they are playing well above that stress level. They are just cooking bad guy here. Wow, get the double kill. Yeah, like, is this a Smurf account? Be honest with be honest with us, hero. Are you Smurfing? What's your main? Because, like I said, I've watched a lot of Phobies games. This is not a stress level 15 level of play. Or whatever it was. Like, this is not a... Like, this is a position that will happen. Because, you know, the other player is new. Actually, Sheep does 475. Still enough to snipe, but... Ball game, yeah. I don't blame bad guy for surrendering. This game was over long before that. I have to imagine our heroes smurfing a little bit. Because they just cooked that person. Like, that was not close. We've seen some beatdowns. And that was absolutely one of them. That was absolutely one of them. Alright, as compared to the previous beatdown, we have a longer game here. dearh is our hero. Wuffalo Will versus Frosty. Who will strike first? We've been getting a lot of Wuffalo Will game. Well, maybe not a lot. I guess it's a lot because we had basically 0 before that. So it is a significant increase, but... Numbskull opener. So Karst, I think, did mention this about doing like Numbskull plus whatever and leveraging the conveyor belts. I don't remember if it was on this map, but I'm pretty sure it was this map. But either way, we do get 2 1-movers, Numbskull and Bowmangles, out of our hero in order to get them into the fray much quicker. Oh, we get a flail. I do like the laugh. I do like the laugh. So obviously the flail itself, and the same goes for Eternal Knight, the axe, it drags on the ground when they move, right? But they clearly can hover with it, because you can see in the idle animation where it drops it at certain points. Like right there. So are they just being lazy about dragging it around? Like, they don't have to drag it. Yo, we get a Hexy, too. All right. What level are these? I don't know that I would use these Phobies in this particular game right now. I'm just saying. They don't appear as though they are quite up to the task. Hexy sprite looks dope. Yeah, I think it looks great. I think Hexy looks awesome. I want to see its attack animation. Alright, so I think dearh is allowing the flail to connect here. Okay, so the attack animation is basically the... Wait, what? Okay. So the reason this happened, because I was going to say put the flail where the Contortio is, but this is so that you can actually secure the kill. And I think Slayer is the other Phobie that Karst was talking about. Numbskull Slayer as the 1-movers that are super tanky and then push them in. We get the Blondie here. Snappy is the backup for dearh. Notably, neither player... Well, I take it back. Now we're getting somebody taking control of this still. Flail gonna go down to Numbskull here. Double kill on the Numbskull. Well played. Panic points evened up, and now it's time for Wuffalo. Rusty? Alright, I think I get where this is going. Now, if you Rusty something and then Wuffalo, you're still going to be trapped, so it isn't great. But it does allow you to set it up to begin with. Phantom coming out of bad guy. Take down on the Numbskull. Is dearh going to walk into the Hexy? Alright, we get some Firkin to counter the Phantom. But the Phantom is already going to be live, right? Like, this Blondie is going to be able to go off. don't think there's any stopping it. What's bad guy gonna do here? Alright, so bad guy could have gone for a Blondie dump and just thrown it in with a Phantom, but the problem is then Buffalo Will is able to connect and steal it, so obviously they tried to dodge that, but now this allows the Furkin to connect with the Phantom, basically removing it from the game for a significant period. Eventually, you're going to have to deal with this Buffalo. I mean, we know what's coming, but as it stands right now, it's a 3-to-1 panic point advantage, and our hero really is just controlling the board here. Got a bunch of traps, although bad guy probably does as well. Body block on the conveyor belt. Rusty connecting with Glob to take it out of the game for a few turns. 11 keys for bad guy, 13 remaining for our hero. This kind of feels as though our hero's baiting bad guy. It's like, please, try and do something. Just try. Get a displacement tool out of our hero. That's going to max them out. So they're maxed out here. Buffalo once again threatening to mind control something. We get the Frosty finally. 2 keys remaining for bad guy. No displacement tools. The Phantom still powered off for a significant amount of time. The Glob is like, really? Really? If only that worked in the movie The Blob. You just drop some bear traps and then the Blob is trapped. That's not how that works. Alright, we'll get the free pick here on the Cassowary, it would appear. With no Shove Shark on bad guy's side, or displacement tools in general, like you don't have an attractor or anything like that in order to try and help set up Frosty Bloms, this is going to be a challenge because they are going to be onboard tricks. Like, our hero has to walk into them in order for bad guy to actually make it happen. Them moving up to the north here definitely makes sense. It allows for bad guy to try and set up a better angle, maybe swing behind, and then get like a, oh, it'd be like this side down to that side as a Blom. We'll have to see how this goes. Furkin, I believe, should be back up. Back up next turn. But Puff is already out preemptively to try and dodge Frosty. Yeah, you definitely don't want to put it on that obstacle. You put it on the obstacle, Buffalo and Puff are both going to get frozen, and that's bad news. I'm surprised we don't have a Phobie that doesn't have a way to increase max HP yet. I guess. It is a different mechanic than just healing, because sometimes you just need more HP. You need the bigger pool, rather than just restoring what's already there. I'm sure we'll get something like that eventually. It would be weird, though, because what happens when the effect wears off? Like, how do you... Like, can you die from that as a result? So given bad guy's positioning, because of where the Phantom has to go, it's unable to really contribute here and fling anything in. Frosty getting into a position where it really is threatening some serious freezes. The panic point advantage orange at this stage. Get the Blom out of Puff. Meaning takedown on the Tickles. The yoink on the Blondie into the Buffalo play. You mean like Grimes or Jaws case where they keep it? That would be interesting. hypothetically dangerous depending on how it functions. Like, if it's every time you get a kill, you're pseudo-healing like that, that could be very dangerous. We do get a diagonal bomb, 3 Phobies frozen, glob onto their own Blondie. Dire straits. Bad guy admittedly not left with a whole lot of options here. Our hero electing to try and target down the Phantom. I can't really blame them. I will point out, while the Hexy is also very low level, our hero is just literally ignoring it. And this was kind of the concern that Carson and I had the other day, that you may just be able to dodge it and just not care. Wonder how the tick Wuffalo produces takes control of all 3 heads. Believe it or not, the brain is in the chest. Ooh, the free kill on the boom there with the trap. Another yoink. Down goes Stabby. Or Hexy, rather. We do get the power down onto Bo. The Phantom is down. Blondie got cooked by their own glob. Bad guys in dire straits. That being said, our hero's not in a spectacular... Well, I guess it doesn't matter. I was going to say they're not in a spectacular position to defend, but they kind of are. Because, like, one set of moves brings them back. You can even get a bomb, hypothetically. Get the poison going down on Glob. Of course, it is a dimensional. It's going to be a problem for bad guy. Notably, this body blocks out the Glob from getting onto anything really relevant. Namely, the Snappy. I guess it could take the bow, but then you're leaving the other 2 up. Bad guy attempting to race at a significant life disadvantage, a panic point disadvantage, a board state disadvantage, but what choice do they have? Bo goes down, swapping one of the panic points, so it's not as quite as large of an advantage for our hero, but it's way more than enough. Down goes the corn. Panic points once again in favor of our hero. 5-0. Well, they were in favor anyway, but... 1,175 damage. Yeah, Frosty's not... that's not good enough. GG. Well played. Will Glob continue eating your own phobia after the control effect from Wuffalo wears off? Well, I have to imagine it will. Because... it's already occupying the space. I highly doubt it would displace it, because that's the only way it would stop. Because the way Glob is worded is just that you occupy the same space. Well, actually, it does explicitly say if you're sharing a tile with an enemy at the end of your turn. Is there any phobia? The only way I could see this happening is... you Wuffalo... that wouldn't even work. You would have to have somebody who expressly has an under-leveled Glob, but an over-leveled whatever, that can somehow survive through 4 turns, or like it's maybe you glob it on the last turn of the Wuffalo effect, so that it like only ticks once. I assume it's still... like, you might trap both of them. That would actually be a really weird scenario, but if, as written, I think you trap both phobies, because the Glob won't be able to move any longer. because it thinks it's globbing something. Unless the fact that it's no longer an enemy really matters. I don't think it'll displace itself, but maybe you're able to move them off afterwards. Either the glob or the other phobia or both. That's a weird one. Somebody should ask the devs what happens in that scenario. I have to imagine, like, real talk, I'm pretty sure it will induce a bug and, like, the game will crash or something, because it's possible they thought of it, but, like, that's such a rare, like, you have to go out of your way to engineer that. I think you have to try really hard. It is this one, I guess. All right, the dates don't match up on this one, but we'll see if this is the right one. We're back on Tombstone. Marky is our hero. Literally 0 notes. It's empty. We'll see what happens. We're going to learn together. You know, they had to have thought of that scenario, the glob Waffalo thing, when they created Waffalo. Because they probably just kind of went down the list, right? And said, oh, well, what if this switches sides? What happens? Like, what are the systems that change? Obviously, you need to account for you're maxed out or you're not maxed out or whatever. And as they're going through the list, it's certainly now, based on what Eric Cake has said in the past and a few of the other devs, that, like, glob is clearly on the checklist for every new phobia. It has to be, because there's always going to be a weird glob scenario, no matter what. What do we got here? Benny plus Spud. I don't know. We had this in one of the early games. I forget which one. But Spud as part of the opener seems weird. I don't like it on a lot of maps. In general, Spud just constantly feels like it's just not doing enough. And I'm not sure it can be buffed meaningfully because it is so cheap. Like, there's a big risk of having a mobile lob that is more threatening, for example, than it is. Maybe you could get an HP boost, but even then it's still threatening because it's like, okay, you can't counter kill it as readily. I don't know. Bad guy trying to keep their team safe, obviously dodging the stim for now, and setting up a cupcake play. That's interesting. I don't know about that. I guess the idea here is it prevents our hero from occupying the stim, because the threat of a cupcaked unbearable plus cassowary plus vault snipe, I guess it would have to be Jar or Snowball. I guess now there's also Billy and Plaid and stuff, but, like, those would be the ones that you would see. Benny did nothing. This guy accomplished nothing. Bad side, however, probably also not going to do much, but we'll see. Our hero in, I don't want to say dominating the top part of the map, or the early stage of the game for that matter, but definitely in control of the top part of the map, and threatening the lower part because of the turret as well as the hematic. This is going to be difficult for Bad Guy to advance since their forces are split. This is going to be a dead Spud. So you're kind of just trading up there. Because what did you lose? It was a 1 key in the Snowball. Snowball is a valuable tool, of course, but sometimes you got to make trades. If you can get this spider, that's a way better claim. And I think you can. So the move for the Hevo here was expressly to avoid the Wiggy, yeah. Snipe the spider. Noxious as the follow-up, also threatening the ability to just end up on a stim and stimmed puke on you. Or spit. Cupcake going ham, or, like, what are we going to kill here? The bow? And then you just die? Bad guy does have 8 keys, and whatever they supplement probably has to show up in the south, and it has to somehow either not be in range of the hematic or be tanky enough to eat all the attacks. And I don't think those things are meaningfully going to happen. I was doing good, chat, and then I started getting really tired. All right, we get the Jaws eating the Wiggy. So Jaws coming out in the top in order to play it safe. Our hero, mostly healthy team. Probably get the Spud Cassowary this turn. Definitely Spud. Definitely Cassowary. You can't really kill the Unbearable, but you can certainly pressure it. I mean, bad guy's just on the ropes here, right? Bad guy is on the ropes. Ooh, that's a good snipe on the Noxious, though, from bad guy. A little aggressive there, only getting a Spud for their trouble. Is bad guy... Well, they're not mono undead, but it's a lot of undead. So, probably for the event. Is Jaws dead? That'd be really bad for bad guy. Oof. Oof size large, chat. Oof size large. Jill and Ted going on an excellent adventure here. Henrietta cooked. Fried tarantula. Or whatever type of spider it's supposed to be. Bad guy still has 6 keys left. They can try and rebuild, but you're looking at 4 phobies on the board. 5 phobies. I forgot about Bachelor. Bachelor's not long for this world, though. Erratic, the final phobie. I don't think that's the answer. I wonder if anyone made a Jaws that could one-shot the heart and rush it. I don't know how you do that. Like, 8,000 is a lot. I guess if you're level 30 or something or close to it, you possibly could. We'll have to ask Hoploy. I mean, we could figure out what the level 30 stats are and then just do the math to see if it's even possible. Down goes Unbearable. Bad guy's probably going to burn down the Hevo this turn, but it doesn't matter. Our hero's going to take control of the map. Bad guy only has 3 phobies total. Even if you say the Erratic and the Creepy Devil outclass our hero's team, which is up for debate, they just have too many bodies and can cover basically all the panic points. And that's before you consider our hero, of course, picking them off. Admittedly, the Creepy Devil might be able to snipe this Hematic. And somewhat safely at that. Maybe, maybe not. Panic point advantage hero. But the Resurrect Phobies are effectively immortal. You know, no wordplay there. It's like, alright, you killed Ted. He's back. Down goes Creepy Devil, and then there was one. And at this stage, like I said, it doesn't matter. There's really nothing bad guy can do. They can ruin Jill and Ted's marriage. There is that. I mean, this game goes on for 4 more turns, but I imagine it's just due to heart damage. Well, I guess not. Our hero is trying to go for the kill. This does let bad guy reclaim a panic point. I would have just ignored it and, like, walked away. Maybe send the Bachelor in or whatever. Maybe or Jill or something to claim where Erratic is now, but claim the top one, and there's nothing bad guy can do about it. Not that there's anything they can do about it this way either, but GG. GG! Oh, whoop. Alright, chat, we'll do one more game and then call it an evening. We are, in fact, going to get to look at the Just Random game. So last game of the evening, we are back on Showdown Just Randomst, getting better at using invisibility. All right, let's see what we got. I'm getting tired, chat. I've been doing better tonight than I have for the last few weeks where I felt like I was extremely exhausted. I'm glad I didn't stream yesterday. I was telling my wife that I do need a break. I will miss a day of streaming next week. I got stuff going on. But I'm thinking that I might need, like, just take a weekend off sort of thing. Not just from streaming, but also, like, I don't want to go to any tournaments. I don't want to do anything. I just kind of want to sit, do nothing. Because this has been a terrible year, for the record. Like, real life-wise, a lot of terrible things have happened. Personally, we're not even talking like on the global scale, of which there's other terrible things going on. But like for me personally, for me and my family, it's been a terrible year. So I'm hoping 2025 is better. I'm not gonna hold my breath because 2023 was also very bad. So bad guy clearly on the undead plan. Our hero also on the undead plan. Creepy Devil. Does everybody have Creepy Devil now? Like, half our games had Droney and the other half had Creepy Devil. Invisible he goes. You know what we haven't seen in a while? Mummy. I haven't seen that phobia in a long time. Who was it? There was a regular... Somebody that was a regular for viewer games and stuff that was... They were like a mummy enthusiast. So, interestingly enough, our hero here did not go Gravedigger, which I think is a mistake. However, bad guy also made the mistake of breaking that middle block randomly. Like, I don't know what that got them. They could have broken one of the bottom ones already, and thereby opened up that panic point to them in a protected state. So our hero here definitely taking their Creepy Devil's life in their hands. I don't have any invisibility phobies, so it's interesting, like, watching these games, just seeing what are the, like, how are people using this, where, I don't know, like, the stress of, I'm gonna let my phobie get incinerated by accident is pretty tough. Foul coming down. Can you get the bones with Creepy Devil while he's invisible? I assume not. I wonder how that works. If it works, it would have to notify your opponent. Bad sushi. I don't know about that. I'm pretty sure you can. That's interesting that you could. I mean, I guess it's not the end of the world. It would be weird watching the replay from, like, the other side, because it's just going to be, well, how did that happen? And then, oh, yeah. Which is fine. It's just kind of weird. I don't think it's bad. I think it's just interesting. Traps also. True. We finally get Gravedigger out of our hero. I don't know if it's necessary at this point, but probably just want another undead. If they pop the bad sushi randomly, like that actually would have been ridiculous. Alright, going after the foul definitely makes sense. Remember, there is still a creepy devil for bad guy floating around somewhere. Gonna get a decent bad sushi hit here, but does it matter? Triple panic point advantage, taking even the bottom one. Alright, takedown on creepy devil. Disease and poison on Snappy, but once again, who cares? Creepy devil, you're not going the distance. And poisoning a resurrect phobie feels bad, man. Feels bad, man. GG. Well played there, Random. Well done. Yeah, there's some pretty good snipes with the invisible phobies. Like I said, since I don't have them, it's tough for me to judge because I don't want to say it feels, ironically, random. But kind of like trap placement, it's one of those things where you just eventually learn, okay, well, where are the likely places that they could go? I think deducing the invisibility is more difficult, but that could just be a lack of experience. I don't know. But chat, those are all our games for tonight, so we're going to call it quits. We'll be back next week, barring catastrophe, to look at some more Phobies viewer games. We got tournaments and stuff coming up in the future. I do have some new tabletop things I want to try and get on stream, maybe even tomorrow. We'll see what happens. We'll see what the variety game is. I'm not sure if we're going to be doing Space Marine or not, but that's going to do it for tonight. So as always, everybody, thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and tune in next time for more Random's Thoughts.